This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. U.S. President Donald Trump has backed down on his threat of military retaliation for Iran, but AP's Ben Thomas reports the situation is still tense.
Neither Iran nor any other hostile actor should mistake U.S. prudence and discretion for weakness.
That was National Security Advisor John Bolton speaking in Israel Sunday alongside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. While President Trump called off airstrikes last week that he says Bolton was advocating, U.S. officials say he simultaneously gave the U.S. military a go-ahead for cyber attacks, targeting Iranian military computer systems that control its rocket and missile launchers. Meanwhile, Bolton says the economic pressure will continue.
We expect that the new sanctions President Trump referred to in preparation for some weeks will be announced publicly on Monday. Stay tuned.
Ben Thomas, Washington.
According to North Korean state media, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has received a personal letter from U.S. President Donald Trump and is contemplating its contents. The official Korean Central News Agency posted a picture of Kim holding a letter, apparently on White House letterhead. The report quoted Kim as praising its, quote, excellent content. No other details were available on that content. Thousands of supporters of LGBT rights marched in the Ukrainian capital Kiev under a heavy police presence on Sunday. They marched in the center of the capital while waving rainbow and Ukrainian flags. Thousands of police and National Guard troops stood by to ensure order. Organizers said about 8,000 people took part in the event. That included several Western diplomats, but not Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who had been invited but did not respond. For more on this and other stories, voanews.com. This is VOA News. Former British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson is promising to deliver Brexit in his first formal pitch to the party members in Birmingham, in central England. Opening his address, he said, "We need to get Brexit done and to be prepared to leave the EU without a withdrawal deal in place."
They're looking for somebody with the determination and the courage and the application to get Brexit over the line, to relaunch our party, and then to take the fight to the socialists. That's what people want.
Johnson's opponent is the current Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, and he says he's prepared to do the same thing but in the right way.
We must keep our promise to the British people, but I would do so with a heavy heart, because of the risks to businesses up and down the country and the risks to the union.
Johnson is the favorite of Tory lawmakers to take the party leadership, replacing Theresa May as Prime Minister. The ruling party candidate in the rerun of Istanbul's mayoral election has conceded defeat to opposition candidate Ekrem Imamoglu. Sunday's vote was held because election authorities annulled Imamoglu's initial historic election victory in March on a technicality after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan disputed the defeat of his candidate. Electoral authorities rejected the ruling party's claims of voting fraud, but ordered a revote after ruling a number of election officials were ineligible. In a sign of the importance of Sunday's election, voting was brisk from the moment the polls opened. Istanbul is Erdogan's home city and has been his power base for 25 years since his rise to power started as the city's mayor. The city accounts for a third of Turkey's economy and nearly half the taxation. The mayorship is widely seen as Turkey's most important political prize after the presidency. U.S. President Donald Trump said Sunday he wants to give opposition Democratic lawmakers every last chance to stiffen the country's asylum laws and immigration policies before launching nationwide raids to deport undocumented migrants. Trump had called for the raids in more than a dozen major U.S. cities to start Sunday, but abruptly called them off on Saturday. And Dave Bartholomew, a giant of New Orleans music and a rock and roll pioneer who co-wrote such classics as Ain't That a Shame with Fats Domino, has died. He was 100 years old. Bartholomew, a trumpet player, was a member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He died Sunday. His son, noting Bartholomew's advanced age, told the Associated Press it was just that time. His catalog included a number of top 10 hits performed by such stars as Chuck Berry, Elvis Presley, and John Lennon. I'm Marissa Melton. This is VOA News.